Hello Cancer, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and it is time for September readings. I've got the Curious Travels Tarot deck, and I've got a rune deck, and I've got the Moonology Oracle deck here. As always, these are general readings for a general Cancer audience, so take what resonates for you and leave the rest for another Cancer. I tend to throw out far too many examples of how the energies might show up for you, so take it as it resonates, and do check out the videos for all of your major astrological placements, so like your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign. Sometimes one or the other is super resonant, but they all have a little something in there for you. 1, 2, 3. Manas. Okay. Okay, so the rune we've got is Manaz, which is kind of like the self, the personhood, your identity, your attitude towards others, communicating with others, kind of like your role in society, how you communicate your role in society, communicate your role, how you, in these modern times, there's a kind of a piece of social media, or how you show up in social media. And then relatedly, your Moonology card is communication is key, the new moon in Gemini. So how you're showing up, how you're communicating, and interestingly enough, the very first card we have here, if I can grab it, is the 8 of Wands, which is all about messages coming in. So this tends to show up if, especially you've put a resume out and you're looking for responses to the job search, or if you're out on those dating apps and you're getting a lot of likes and swipes or whatever. Or sometimes, content creators, if they've put out something really provocative or that grabs the attention, they can get a lot of new followers. This can indicate, followers, subscribers, that sort of thing. But what's interesting is this is paired with this card that suggests this feeling of, I don't know, am I worthy? This kind of social wariness, or this what is that called? The imposter syndrome, where you feel like, I don't know, do I deserve this attention? This 4 of Pentacles suggests maybe feeling a little bit stingy with your personal resources. You can even see it in the art of this card here. This red carpet has been rolled out for this character, and they're kind of bent over. They're hiding their resources. They're hiding their head. Cancer, this red carpet was rolled out for you. The spotlight is here for you. You've got all these messages coming in. There is no need to be shy. People are looking and wanting. Manaz is suggesting, and whatever you've done to communicate or done with your social media or whatever it is time for you to be getting this attention. It is time for people to be calling on you, or asking for you, or interviewing you, or take that as it applies in your situation. Don't be shy. It is time. You are worthy. So let's get you connected with the right group. All you have to do is be yourself. So if you're feeling overwhelmed because you're getting too much attention, don't fear. You can pick the right group or the right job or the right next lover or whatever it is. Take it as it applies to you. You know, you don't have to say yes to everybody. You can choose the right situation or the right one. But you do deserve to be with a group or be with, you know, in the right job or make the correct connections. Now, when we look at the next column, we see more expansion and more strategy. So it really looks like whatever you're doing, your sort of role is expanding. And I would say this to me does feel a little more like your career path or what you want to be known by, more than like social connections or your romantic life. But I could be wrong about that. You know, take it as it applies to you. I just say that because we see more wands here. We've got the 8 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and the 7 of Wands. Wands are all about our passions, our creative drive, the thing that our sort of ego is attached to. And in the 3 of Wands, that's kind of all about expansion. It's kind of all about how we see our empire growing. And so it could be your social media reach, especially if you're like a content creator and on social media a lot. But it could also be like if you do creative, if you're a creative type, or if you're an entrepreneur, it could be something like that. If you're athletic, a lot of times the wands speak to athletes and people who do dance or do sports or something like that, because there's that piece of energy and a spark and a drive in that way. So it could be something like that. The 7 of Swords is all about strategy. So there's the strategic piece in terms of how you're looking at your next steps, how you're building your social media or building your brand or expanding your empire, or what comes next in terms of your career or your agenda, whatever that might be. Now, as we look at the next column, the 10 of Wands suggests sort of the end of one cycle and the beginning of another cycle. So with the 3 of Wands having reached a plateau and seeing a sort of expansion in one direction, that suggests, you know, maybe branching out and being able to see how you can start a new cycle or start a new brand. So how this might play out, and this isn't true for everybody. I know not every Cancer is like a social media or a content creator, but just as a for instance, if you were, you know, someone who did a lot on YouTube, this could be the kind of thing where you see how your success on YouTube, then you branch out and you could see how it's time to start on TikTok and you launch, or maybe you launch another second channel on YouTube. That could be what this sort of new cycle, sort of ending of one phase and the start of a new phase, where it isn't really the end of you as a social media creator or content creator. It's just the continued expansion and now a new phase. It could be something like that. Or if you're an athlete, it could be the kind of thing where you leave the minor leagues and go to the major leagues or something like that. I don't really know how that works, so I'm just guessing, but you see what I'm saying. Now, the Queen of Cups is very likely to be a friend, or it could be a boss or an agent, or this could even be someone like a mentor, or someone who has a connect or has advice or has some support in some way for you as you make this move or make this expansion. For some people, this could be like a maternal figure, even your mother. This could be another Cancer, a Pisces, a Scorpio, but in some way this is a helpful, a supportive, someone with actual resources, advice, connections, or someone with like emotional support as you sort of move into this next phase or plan the next phase. Now, in the last column here, we have the Two of Swords and the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is my card of like auditions and interviews. So we see you again after, you know, these messages coming in, this sort of plateau and these new this new strategy for what's coming next, and looking at what's coming next. Maybe someone with a new job or new connections. You could get more interviews, another audition, something like that. And whatever comes of this phase, it looks like it's going to leave you feeling like you have a couple of choices that you may be torn between. The Two of Swords is typically a moment when you feel torn between a couple of options. What you may not realize in this moment is that there's not just two choices. There could be a third option you're not considering, or it could just be that you're torn between these two choices because you haven't yet heard all of the facts about these choices. A lot of times when we're stuck in the decision-making phase, it's because we just haven't heard enough information to put us over the edge on one option or another. So keep asking questions. You know, when you're in the interview phase or in the audition phase, it is okay for you to ask questions about the job or you know, whatever it is that you're going out for. So keep asking questions, keep seeking information until you feel good about making a choice about moving forward. And it could just be that it might not be time for you to move forward on either of these options if you don't feel good about it. So don't force yourself to make a decision if you don't have enough information, and consider the possibility that there might be a third choice or another choice that you haven't yet considered. So there we have it, Cancer. This looks very exciting and very positive. Just remember that you deserve the red carpet. That's the only thing I'd say about this. And keep asking questions. You don't have to make a decision you're not ready to make. So that's what I have for you for September. I hope you love it. If this has been helpful, I invite you to leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. In any case, thank you so much for stopping by. Take good care. Bye for now.